Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's podcast. Our guest of today is Mathis, and he's the co-founder of Astry and BuilderSpace. And yeah, Mathis, why don't you tell a little bit more about yourself and what those companies are doing?
Yeah, thank you, Joey. My name is Mathis. I'm originally from France, from Paris, and I live in London. I build Astry, which is like a design and digital agency. We specialize in SaaS, software developments, and application, mobile app and web app. And I started 1 year ago with two other amazing people, which named Theo and Martin. And I'm also the co-founder of BuilderSpace, which is a community of vibe coders where they can meet some other people, play with them with builder battles, builder games, etc., and share the services and what they're doing.
Very nice. With Astry, did you guys start like 1 year ago?
Yeah, exactly. Now it's like 1 year and 2 months. Excuse me. Yeah, so we started like 1 year and 2 months ago, and basically like we were full remote at the beginning because my two co-founders were from Canada, and I was in Berlin that time in Germany. And now we have like more than 25 clients. We do a lot of projects worldwide, I would say, and we're trying to focus on different verticals. So we hired a lot of sales, a lot of developers to work with us, and we're basically based in Paris right now.
Very nice. And what was the biggest like reason which inspired you guys to start that business in the first place?
Basically, I was always driven by entrepreneurship, and because like my co-founder has some development skills, software development skills, we wanted to start to do an agency. And then now with the agency, so we have more clients, etc. And we're trying to do all of internet tools and then try them on our own clients, and they'll sell it to the market to see if they like it, etc. And so actually get the podcast for 1 month because I was working on a project called Mira, and now it's like niche. We're going to release the 8th of January in approximately 1 month. So yeah, we want to be focused more on SaaS now and still working on the agency.
Very nice. You said like, hey, we already have like 25 clients, right? Which is pretty nice for like 1 year since you guys started. And what would you say like from the clients who are working with you guys? What's the biggest benefit towards working with you guys as a company?
But basically, I would say like we are young, so we understand them. We are very open to everything, to all kind of projects, etc. And yeah, so we start working with more like students projects, and then we work with more big startup projects who do like much more revenues. And we are more focused on the premium parts and also like the user experience, because I'm the sales representative in Astry, and we want to focus a lot on the customer experience. I think it's very important, and that's how we like differentiate from the others actually, because the agency, there is so many people who do that in the world, and to differentiate, it just had to be the experience that the guy have. And basically when a client, a customer have a good experience with us, he's going to recommend us to other people who are going to trust us also for that kind of experience. And we want to be like a fully premium agency.
Yeah, I like what you're saying. If you focus on like actually what customers need, you're actually solving a problem instead of you trying to force your own kind of ideas into the market.
We started with an agency. I think a lot of entrepreneurs do that things, like tech entrepreneurs. And now, because we work with multiple clients, we know what's working, what's not working, how to approach that, how to approach different markets. And all of us, we really do like analytics, like web analytics, revenue analytics, etc. That's why we built Mira. Mira, the day that we're going to release, as I told you. So you're like the first person I'm talking about that actually. We've been working on that a lot, like maybe for 9 months, something like that. We did a lot of research, and yeah, so we tested it on our clients. They really liked it. And now we want to launch it on the big markets. Maybe we start with the French customers, and if it works, we're going to expand more and more, but we'll see.
Very nice. And what does exactly Mira do?
So Mira is like a business intelligence analytics. So compared to other analytical tools, like for example, Amplitude, which is basically like a French unicorn, Mira is more focused on the revenue analytics, the web analytics, and the database analytics. So we take all these three metrics. We like build an AI who just analyze all of them like all the time. And when you go on it, you just put your like API keys. For example, if you use Supabase for database, Stripe, etc., you put all of it. And we're going to have our AI who's going to build you specific dashboards only for you that you can share to your teams. You can have a marketing dashboard, a project dashboard, etc. And our AI just do correlation with everything, with the revenue, with the data, with the web analysis, etc. And it gives you some insights about your business that you can improve to have more people. For example, if you're like a rental agency and you do a lot of ads focused on, for example, Madrid, and you only have 100 customers who click on your ads, and within these 100 customers, you only have 20 who just like pay actually for your service, it's good. Imagine you pay like 1,000 euros for that and you pay only 10 euros for the ads, for example, in the city of Berlin, and you have 100 customers who click on it, or 1,000 and 200 bought it. AI is going to do the correlation and say just simply, so you see that you spend too many ads on Madrid, you have to spend more on Berlin because your customers are more on that way, and you have to be focused on that. So that's like just a simple example. But basically, it's like analytics with AI. It's not ChatGPT wrapper, whatever, but it's like very niche and very focused.
I like it. And I think a lot of founders are watching this podcast. Like, I think like having clarity around your data is maybe the most important thing. Because if you actually, as a founder, you want to use your time in a way which gives you the most leverage, you need to know like what's going on in the business. And if this is not clear, like it doesn't matter like what actions you take, like you don't even know where to go because your data is not on point. I see the value.
That's also why, like, you don't have the money, you don't have the time to have data analytics. And a lot of times, like, there's a lot of startup founders. We did a lot of interviews with them. They just lose time because they don't understand the data. They tried, but they don't really understand. They pay like 1,000 euros or 100 euros for like dashboard, for example, a Spot, etc. But or also on Clarity, for example, or Google Analytics, but it's expensive and it's only on the web analytics. Nothing really like for revenue, for database, and for web analytics, who do all that thing for you and give you like real insights. So that's why I think it's just crazy, and we use it all the day now for agency and for different projects.
Very nice. And what are some of the ways like how you guys are acquiring new customers at the moment?
Basically, like our go-to-market strategy was more focused on our agency because, as I told you, we've got like plenty of clients now. So we just give them some freemium pass where they can just give us some real feedback and tell us what's good, what's not good, so we can improve our projects. And then we want to be more focused on the well-tied agencies.
Okay, so at first, like what you're saying, at first the clients we acquired, we actually gave them the premium pass to kind of have more knowledge about how to serve our own clients better, test it into the market. And right now you guys are ready to actually build it up, what you're saying.
Yeah. Exactly. But also, as I told you, like now we passed the way of that. It's an MVP. We finished the project, but we want to launch it the 8th of January because it will be the first quarter of the new year. So it will be more interesting for different founders. We think it's a better strategy. Afterward, yeah, we want to do that. But for our first go-to-market, it was our clients for agency.
Yeah, very nice. And then we were talking about like, did you watch Lord of the Rings?
No, never.
Let me get back to another movie. Did you watch the Harry Potter movies?
I'm not really a movie guy.
Let's say this pen is a magic wand, and with this magic wand you could do any magic, whatever you want. And let's say with this pen, with this magic wand, you could solve any problem which is going on in Astry right now in just one day. What problem would you choose to solve with this magic wand if you could choose to do so?
That's a very difficult question, actually. Like, I never thought about that for business. I more thought like for personal ways. But like for us three, we can solve something. I will say just like maybe go back in the past, don't do the same mistake that we've done before, to improve our strategy, improve our client qualification, etc. It would be that.
Yeah, very nice. So kind of what you're saying, like, and I think that's part of like starting a company is solving a lot of challenges. But the thing is, like, once you actually are past all these challenges, you have a lot of learning lessons. So what you're actually saying, take all those learning lessons from those challenges to go back in time and even move faster with what you guys are doing.
Exactly, because also the problem is that when, I started the company, I was like 19 years old. I was really young. And basically, we just wanted to do some revenues, some more credibility in front of clients. We took everyone who were coming to us for like landing page or web application or SaaS, whatever. And it wasn't all the time really qualified clients. There were some of them. It was really inspiring to work with them, but it wasn't really our main area of focus. And I would say we took everyone that was coming and we didn't really choose the right clients. Now, because we're becoming like bigger and want to be more premium, we do a lot of selection of our clients also. Like we don't take all of them because after it's a bit difficult. I think I will use like that magic stick to go back in the past, know like all the mistakes that I've done now and just restart everything to don't do the same things.
Yeah, I like that. And what are some of the goals you guys are having with the company for the next, let's say, 6 to 12 months from now?
Yeah. So basically, as I told you before, when we started the agency, we took whoever were coming to us. So now we started to be more focused on a typical persona. We want to be more focused on a vertical to just work with like rental agencies, companies, etc. So real estates. And basically for the next 6 months, we want to develop more like SaaS projects to sell to them and also just work with these kinds of people. So just finish the contract that we have with all the people who do like fintech, etc. whatever. And we just want to be focused on them. So we divided the team of Astry in two. Me, I'm only working on the analysis with Mira, as I was talking about you. And the others are working on Astry agency, like the development, etc., the design. So we want to be focused on that. And at the end of 2026, I hope, and I know that it will be like that, we will be more serious about all clients that we choose, and we'll be more implementing in the real estate area.
Very nice. So kind of implementing, choosing actually whichever you want to work with, right? Which actually fits your specific niche and double down on that. And like you're pretty young, right? Like you're 22, which is pretty amazing. I think you're one of the youngest like guys I ever had to this podcast as we're speaking. We are like you, like starting this company a couple of years ago, you guys. Right? What is some of them to the founders who are watching this podcast right now? Like you being so young, right? I guess a lot of learning lessons. What is some of advice you would give to founders who are actually also starting a company? You might have been like in the same shoes as you are right now, or where you are like a couple of years ago. What kind of advice would you give to these founders, which they can start implementing straight away after the podcast?
I would say start your company now, because if start when you're young, you have so many time, you have actually nothing to lose. You can do whatever you want, whatever mistakes, etc. You can regrow after it. So that's why I wanted to start entrepreneurship very young, because I know that when I will get maybe 30 years old, something like that, you go to wives, you go to holidays, you go to ski, you want to go to the beach in the summer, whatever. So you can do, you need to have minimum revenue to do that things. You can launch a new startup from scratch. So you should start very young, because you have time and you can do whatever you want. So that will just be my advice. And also like for my friends from school, etc., they're just too scared to start a company, because they're saying like, yeah, but I want to work like in big companies, for example, JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, or more like in tech, Google, Meta, whatever. So I will like find some new people. I will find like my co-founders in these same companies, but afterwards it's very difficult, because you will start at maybe 30 years old or 30 or 45 or 40 years old, and you wouldn't have that much time that we have, like young people like me now. And you will do the same mistake that I did when I was 20 years old. So it's going to be much more bigger issues than I have right now. So just start your company now. It's like very important.
So when you want to do something, don't wait for it, right? Because the moment you actually start, you start this learning curve and you start to learn from your mistake. But the older you guys are getting, like the less like you're missing out on this learning curve towards what you're saying, and same time you're in a phase in your life where things might be different, where things might be not as easy as when you just start, whenever you feel like you want to start, right now, in this very moment.
Yeah, exactly. Because also like for me, I'm like finishing my master right now in London at Imperial College, and I wanted to work at first in like big companies, for example, Google, Meta, or like more smaller startup like Lovable, whatever, in like project management. And I spoke to my co-founder from Builders, which is called Jad, and which is like much more older than me, basically. It's like I mentor in the entrepreneurship way. And he told me, Mathis, if you don't start your company now, you're never going to do it, or it's going to be much more like harder afterwards. Because if you have a full-time job, like 9 to 5 job, when you finish it, you just go back home. You don't want to do your startup. You're going to be too tired, and you're going to have like your family and your friends afterwards when you want to go hang out with them, etc. So you won't have the same time. But now you're young, you can do whatever you want. Just do it simply.
I love it, Mathis. And for the people who are watching this podcast right now, what are some of the ways they can connect either with you or those companies you're talking about?
But to connect with me, you can just like follow me on LinkedIn. My name is Mathis Cohen-Solal. I respond to all the DMs, and I'm like happy to have calls with whoever comes. I won't say to have some advice on comedy, because I'm very young, but I already have like some experience with that. More like to speak about that project, whatever. I love it. And that's like my passion. That's also why I love like working in like digital agency, because you meet so many people all the time, all day. You're not focused on like, for example, a B2B SaaS, when you just have all the time the same type of persona, etc. In an agency like we do in Astry, we speak with so many people. We can speak to some students, we can speak to some like fintech people, some hardwares, some biotech, whatever like is in the area of tech. We meet so many people, and that's very, very interesting and very inspiring.
Very nice. Mathis, thanks so much for being on the podcast, talking about your own lessons, talking about the background, talking about the unique points of the company. For the people who are watching this podcast right now, I'm going to make sure to put the links of you, Mathis, and the companies down in the description below, so you guys can easily find it. Everyone, thanks for tuning in, and see you all in the next episode. Thank you, Mathis.